Hey friends, happy Monday and welcome back to another week of What's for Dinner. If you're new here, hello and welcome. I am Taylor. I'm a stay-at-home wife and mom, and I share these What's for Dinner videos every week, typically on Mondays, to hopefully motivate you to cook more for your family and give you some new meal ideas. Most of the recipes I try are usually pretty easy and family friendly. And I make a lot of favorites, especially lately and during the summer. I repeat meals often because I make what's easy and what I like when we're out and about doing stuff, which is what we're doing during the summer. But I still hope you will find some motivation to cook more or some meal inspiration in this video. And if you like these kinds of videos, I hope you will subscribe down below. Now let's go ahead and get into this week's What's for Dinner. Friday night we had smash burgers. We were actually trying these Cattleman's Ranch smash burgers from Aldi. It was like $7.99 for 8 patties. And it's the first time we tried them and we really enjoyed them. So you don't even have to thaw them out. You just cook them in a pan, or if you had like a Blackstone, that would be perfect for this. And you just cook them I think it was 4 minutes per side, I want to say. Flip them over, do the same thing on the other side. I did season them with some salt and pepper, and I just had to repeat that process multiple times because I could only fit 2 in my pan. I did use my largest cast iron pan, but still only 2 fit in there. And then we topped them with some cheddar cheese, and they were just so good. It was 2 pounds of meat for $8, and it was so much less work than making smash burgers from scratch, and they were very tasty. So I definitely would repurchase those. And then we had them with some yellow watermelon, a can of baked beans, and some corn on the cob that I did in the air fryer. And if you're curious how I did that, I will leave a video down below on how I make corn on the cob in the air fryer. Saturday night we had Tuna Melts, so I toasted the sourdough bread in the air fryer just a little bit, and then I top it with a tuna mixture that is tuna and mayonnaise and mustard, and then whatever seasonings you want. I do a little bit of salt, pepper, and garlic powder, and then I top that on top of the sourdough and then top it with some sliced cheddar cheese. Throw it back in the air fryer till it gets warm and the cheese gets all melty, and then we had that with some fresh veggies on the side. Elijah prefers to have a tuna melt sandwich and actually have it with 2 pieces of bread. The rest of us prefer to have it as an open-faced tuna melt, and it's delicious, and it was a quick and easy dinner for a warm summer night. Sunday night we had taco salads. The last time we had nachos, I was like, dang, I really just want a taco salad. So usually that's not something that I make. I will choose to have a taco salad when everybody else has tacos, but we've been liking salads a lot. It's very summery to have a salad for dinner. The only problem is, Lily doesn't like salad, so she had to have something different. But we had our ground beef, we had some black beans, and we had all of the salad stuff, some avocado, cilantro, tomatoes, lettuce, various salsas and tomatoes, and then Lily is going to be having a burrito. So she's got meat and beans and cheese and some cilantro. She doesn't like lettuce, but she loves cilantro. Sour cream, a little bit of tomatoes, and then she had some avocado on the side and chips and salsa. And then Elijah had a salad, and the rest of us had salad. And Elijah's pretty much the same as everybody else's, except he does not like tomato. So no tomato on his, and he didn't really want any cilantro either, I don't think. And then we're using Taco Bell sauce and another taco sauce as our salad dressing, and then some crunched up tortilla chips on top. And this was delicious, and I will definitely be doing taco salads more often. Monday night we had barbecue chicken legs, some roasted green beans, roasted yellow squash, and mac and cheese. Starting off with the green beans, this is the only one that I really had a recipe for, not even really a recipe. It was just a little video I saw on TikTok. They took fresh green beans, trimmed the ends, and then tossed them in some oil, chili powder, salt, pepper, garlic powder and onion powder, I believe, and then some Parmesan cheese. I was unfortunately basically out of like freshly shredded Parmesan cheese, so I had to use like the green shaky bottle kind, and then also some panko breadcrumbs, and then put those on a sheet pan lined with parchment paper so it's easy cleanup. Stick them in the oven on 425 until they're done to your liking. For me, this was about 30 minutes. And then I'm also going to basically do the same thing with this yellow squash. This ginormous yellow squash was $1 at a local farmer's market, and it's huge. I only cut up half of it for this night, and I'm gonna basically do the same thing with it, except I left out the panko breadcrumbs, but I did do Parmesan cheese and everything. And then I'm putting that on another sheet pan lined with parchment paper. Then in the same bowl, less dishes, why not just use the same bowl, I'm adding my chicken legs, and I season these with garlic powder, onion powder, a little bit of oil, and then some Tony's Creole seasoning, and got those seasoned up all over. And then I am actually cooking these in the air fryer on 350 for about 25 minutes. I forgot to mention, I did the squash in the oven as well, but I only did it for like 20 minutes because I didn't think that it needed to cook as long as the green beans, and it turned out perfect. When the chicken legs were done in the air fryer, I coated them with some barbecue sauce and stuck them back in there for about 5 minutes to get all browned, and those were really good. And then here is how everything looked. Unfortunately, Elijah didn't really care for any of the vegetables. He ate some of the green beans, but was like, rather not. But he did try everything. Everyone else loved everything. We loved the green beans. We loved the squash. And us saying that we love the green beans is crazy because we usually just eat canned green beans because nobody here has ever liked fresh green beans. But we found a way that we like them. Roasted for a very, very long time in the oven. Longer than most people, I think. They were like slightly crispy, but also soft. And any other recipe that I've tried with green beans, they just haven't been done enough in the oven to our liking. But these are really good. And I served it with some Kraft macaroni and cheese on the side. And that was dinner for Monday. Tuesday, I tried a recipe called Salsa Fresca Chicken Bake. And I'm going to start off by cutting up my vegetables and making this little tomato mixture. So I'm starting off by cutting up some white onion. I actually ended up only doing half of this onion because it looked like plenty of onion for us. And then I'm cutting up 2 Roma tomatoes, and then 1 large jalapeno, and some cilantro. And then I'm going to get everything in a bowl and mix that together with half of a lime juice and some salt. And then I'm going to set that to the side. In a casserole dish, I have diced up some chicken, and I'm going to season that all over with half a teaspoon of cumin, a teaspoon of paprika, a tablespoon of garlic powder, a 1/4 teaspoon of red chili pepper flakes, a 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper, and mix it all together really well. And then I added on some mozzarella cheese, and it turns out I actually wasn't supposed to put the mozzarella cheese in here, but I did, and I mixed that all around with the chicken. And then I'm going to top it with the tomato mixture. I realized after the fact that the cheese was supposed to go on top of the tomato mixture, but that is not what I did. So then I added a little bit more cheese to the top, and then I baked this in the oven on 400 for 30 minutes until the chicken was done. And then I served this on top of some cilantro lime rice, and it was just okay. I don't think I will make this one again. There wasn't really anything wrong with it. It just wasn't something that was like, yes, this is so good, definitely going to make it again. I can make something with these same flavors and probably like it more. But that was our thoughts on the dinner. Nobody like raved about it. It was just, it fed us. It was decent, wasn't bad. That was dinner for that night. The next meal was a repeat meal from just the other week, so I didn't show me making it step by step again, but I will have that what's for dinner link down below if you want to see this. This is like a salmon lemon orzo, and it is so good. We absolutely love it. I actually doubled the orzo this time because, well, I actually doubled the whole recipe because there was lots of salmon. We wanted leftovers, and the first time I made it, there was like no leftovers, so we definitely enjoy it. The final recipe for the week was another new recipe, and this actually comes from the same place where they had the Salsa Fresca chicken bake, but we will definitely make this one again. We really enjoyed it. It's a lemon, like Greek chicken rice with tomatoes, and again, we love this. So starting off with some cut up chicken breast, and I'm seasoning that all over with some paprika, garlic powder, oregano, red pepper flakes, salt, and pepper. And then I heated up some oil in my skillet, and I'm just going to cook that chicken until it's completely done. While my chicken was cooking, I mixed together a little feta mixture. It's about a cup of feta cheese, about a tablespoon of oil, a fourth a teaspoon of dried oregano, and then you were supposed to also add some fresh dill. I was going to use dried dill, but apparently I don't have any. I searched through my spices like 3 times looking for dill, and I don't have that apparently anymore, so I'll have to get some. So we had to leave the dill out of the recipe, but even without it, this was still really good. Then when my chicken was done, I removed it from the pan and I added in my little cherry tomatoes or grape tomatoes that I have cut in half. And then I'm also adding some garlic powder because I did not feel like cutting up garlic and adding fresh minced garlic. And then I'm also adding some oregano and salt and pepper. And I'm going to cook that for a couple of minutes until my tomatoes got soft. And then you're also supposed to add spinach to this recipe, but I accidentally used all the spinach in the salmon recipe. So no spinach in this, but again, I think it would be really good in it, and it was good without it though. So then I added in some cooked rice, and then I added in some cannellini beans. The recipe calls for garbanzo beans, but we don't like garbanzo beans, so I did cannellini beans instead. And I gave it a stir, got everything combined really well, and then I squeezed on the juice from a lemon, and then I'm going to add back in my chicken. Give that a good stir, make sure my chicken is still hot. You can let this sit and warm through. And then I'm going to add half of that cheese mixture that we made, mix that around, and then save the other half of cheese for serving on top. And here are our bowls. Of course, Elijah's is the one where I attempted to not to give him any tomatoes. I think I successfully managed to do that. He does not like tomatoes, but he loves tomato stuff, but not tomatoes. And then some of that feta mixture on top. And like I said at the beginning, this was really good. I can't wait to make it again, but with dill and spinach, and I think it's going to be really good. We really, really enjoyed it. And that is going to be it for this week's What's for Dinner. It's time for our weekly member shout outs. I wanted to say thank you to all of you that have become channel members and chosen to support me in an additional way. It really, really means so much. And if you're curious what I'm talking about, if you look down underneath this video next to my name and the subscribe button, there should be a join button. Unless you're on an Apple device. If you're on an Apple device, you need to go to your browser and go to YouTube and see it there, or go to a computer and see it, because you cannot do it on iPads or Apple phones, because Apple wants a cut of the profits. But yeah, you can become a channel member for $1.99 a month and support me and my family and my channel in an additional way. And then you get some little member perks like the 2 emojis that are on the screen, behind the scenes photos when I choose to share them. You also get member shoutouts in the weekly What's for Dinners, and there's some other little things, but you can check that out if you are interested. Again, thank you so much, and that is going to be it for this week's What's for Dinner. That you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave me a thumbs up and let me know in the comments down below if you plan on trying any of the recipes that I mentioned today, and leave me a smiley face emoji down in the comments as well to let me know that you made it here to the end. Hope you all have a great week, and I will see you on Wednesday with the grocery haul. Bye!